Hey there, second semester people. No, I'm kidding. I'm not really that boring. We're here. We're back. We're in year 2, semester 2, Algebra 1. Yay! So anyway, thought we'd kick off with our learning card for the last little bit of the stats unit. Learning card for two-way tables. We're in card 2-1 because we're in second semester. Dun dun dun. Name. That's for you if you want. But we're going to talk through this, go through an example. So when you're looking at a quiz or a test, or when you go back to it and you're not sure about stuff, or you're sitting in my stats class 2 or 3 years from now, and you're like, oh man, I thought I remembered this. And you'd be like, oh yeah, I did. So two-way tables, good way to organize information, good way to get percentages down, et cetera, et cetera. So here we go. The question: 125 people were surveyed and asked what their dream car was from a list of choices. The results were as following. First thing that you need to do, rule number 1, label your categories. What type of cars are we talking about? What type of people are we talking about? We need to know. We care. So 70 people preferred SUVs, 32 of those responding being women. All right, so we know that we've got cars and we know that we've got genders, so women. So if I look at my table here, it could be pretty safe to assume, oops, wrong one. Oh, that's, since I've got 2 spaces here and I've got 3 spaces here, that I'm going to put down gender over here. Actually, I'm going to flip that on the side. So we're going to write down gender. And then we're going to write down car type. Or yeah, car type. Across the top. So we know that one of them is an SUV. So fill that in, SUV. Put down female. And I said, at least when I gave my students notes, that it's generally easiest to deal with the information as you get it. So since females are first, because we talked about them first, SUVs are first because we talked about those first. So 70 people preferred SUVs. So the total down here, and that's also what these are. Total who like SUVs, total in terms of gender across the top. So we have 70 people who like SUVs. 32 of those are going to be women. So that means that if we have females, we will make the assumption that everybody else is male. We're not getting into a political discussion, sit tight. And so we got that. And again, this right here is coming from the fact that we had 70 total in the SUV category and 32 of them were females. So whatever was left over had to be males who liked SUVs. Sports cars. 21 men selected sports cars. So we have sports cars here. And the other 5 chose the Mini. All right, so we're talking about men here. 21 men selected the sports car, and another 5 chose the Mini. So at this point, we can now total up how many men took this survey. We have, oh, we also know there's 125 people, so that goes down there. 38 plus 21 is 59, plus 5 is 64. So if we did this right here, then, so this we got because we went 38 plus 21 plus 5. This up over here we know is going to be the 125 minus 64. And I know some of you guys are saying, Mr. Hayes, what about the other steps? And you're right, I got ahead of myself. It's really kind of like step 2 and 2A, depending upon how you like to do it. 2A, fill in the known numbers. And 2B, find missing numbers. Some people like to write in all of the known numbers first. So they go in and they write in the 70, they write in the 32, they write in the 21, they write in the 5, and then the 18 women pick the sports car. Personally, I like to fill in information as soon as I can. And so because of that, you know, I do what you just see me do. All right, so 18 women chose the sports car, which again, now total here, this is going to be 18 plus 21. So that means that a total of 39 people chose a sports car. Now for these last few, you can do it a bunch of different ways. You can figure out how many females like minis, because you could go 61. Let me get my magic pen out here. So I could, for this box right here, I could go 61 minus the 32 minus the 18. That would give me that. I could also find this box here by saying 125 minus the 70 minus the 39. And if I got this information here, then I could figure out this information, or if I found this information here, I could find the bottom. It doesn't really matter which order you go in. Do what feels easiest to you. So I'm going to go down here. So this box, because it just makes the explanation a little easier. 125 minus my 70 minus my 39. Because I've got 70 people buying the SUV here, 39 buying the sports car, so everybody left over has got to like the Mini. So that's 109 people, so it means I've got 16 people down here, which means if I did the math, 11 women would prefer the Mini. Okay? And then there's always some questions to ask, or that are asked that you get to answer down here. What percent of those responded chose the Mini? Now again, remember here, the things to remember is that your percentage here percent. There's 100 cents per dollar. Cent is also 100 in French. So you're going to take part divided by whole. You're going to multiply that by 100, and that's going to equal your percentage. Okay. The whole is always generally, the way that I taught this way back in the beginning of my career, that's the of word. Of means to be a part of a group. So what percentage of those who responded? So this is going to be my whole. How many people responded? The whole here equals 125. So you know what? I'm going to do it this way instead. I know. Those who responded, those go on the bottom. We have 125 of those. How many people chose the Mini? 16. And we'll multiply that by 100. So 16 divided by 125. And then you multiply by 100 is going to give me 12.8% en français. So 12.8% of those responding chose the Mini. Down over here, check this out. What percent of women? So that's my big group. That's going to go on the bottom. So how many women do we have total here? Women, we have 61. Oh, they're choosing the SUV. That number goes on the top. So that is 32 women chose it. And then we're going to multiply that through by 100. I apologize for always writing equal signs there. It's stats, we usually don't do the 100. We just go straight probability, which is just decimal only. So then I get 52.5%. Okay? So again, it's a matter of laying out with the information on what you know and then filling in the holes. If you like CSI or any of those types of shows, is basically what they do. What do we know? What does that tell us about what's missing? So hopefully that was helpful. Put that in your learning card folder. Again, if you're missing stuff, make sure you check the box in the room, and we will talk to you soon.